July 31st, 1917. Near the ancient pulverized city of Ypres in western Belgium, the British Expeditionary Force unleashed a massive offensive that would go down in history as the Third Battle of Ypres, more famously and hauntingly known simply as Passchendaele. On this summer morning, as tens of thousands of Allied soldiers climbed out of their trenches and stepped into no man's land, the skies opened up, unleashing a relentless, torrential downpour that would last for weeks. In an instant, the battlefield was violently transformed into an endless, suffocating expanse of thick, liquid mud. This was not ordinary dirt. It was a treacherous quagmire that swallowed men, horses, heavy machinery, and human hope alike. Passchendaele would transcend its military strategic objectives to become the ultimate definitive image of the First World War's industrial-scale suffering. It was a place where the environment itself became as lethal as the enemy, forcing regular human beings to wage a war not just against steel and bullets, but against an unyielding, swallowing earth that threatened to bury them alive.
How a major military offensive could dissolve into an apocalyptic swamp, we must analyze the grand strategy and the environmental miscalculations that engineered the disaster. The British Commander-in-Chief, Field Marshal Sir Douglas Haig, believed that a decisive breakthrough in Flanders could turn the tide of the Great War. His objective was ambitious: smash through the German lines, seize the strategic Passchendaele Ridge, and drive deep into Belgium to capture the vital German U-boat bases along the coast, which were currently strangling Britain's maritime supply lines. But the plan contained a fatal flaw born out of the arrogance of industrial warfare. The low-lying plains of Flanders were traditionally reclaimed wetlands, completely dependent on an intricate, highly delicate network of underground drainage systems built over centuries by local farmers. Before sending a single infantryman forward, the British launched an unprecedented 2-week artillery bombardment, raining over 4 million shells onto the German positions. While the barrage was meant to flatten the enemy defenses, it instead completely pulverized the landscape, shattering the delicate underground drainage system. When the torrential summer rains arrived on July 31st, the water had nowhere to go. The heavily cratered earth instantly oversaturated, turning the Low Countries into a vast, bottomless death trap. The very artillery that was meant to clear the path for victory had accidentally weaponized the geography against the Allied advance.
The daily conditions endured by the soldiers at Passchendaele were almost entirely beyond modern human comprehension. For the average infantryman, the battle was not defined by grand maneuvers or heroic charges, but by a grueling minute-by-minute struggle for basic physical survival. Because the mud was so deep, leaving the narrow wooden duckboards that lined the trenches meant risking an agonizing death. If a wounded soldier or a heavily weighted infantryman slipped off the path into a waterlogged shell crater, the thick clay would act like quicksand, pinning them down. Tragically, thousands of men who survived German machine gun fire drowned silently in the mud, their screams lost to the roar of the artillery. The physical exhaustion was compounded by a severe, crushing mental toll. Soldiers lived drenched to the skin for days on end, surrounded by the unburied remains of their comrades, facing the constant threats of trench foot, dysentery, and hypothermia. The battle ground on for 3 nightmarish months, transforming into a meat grinder war of attrition. Entire divisions were shattered to secure a few hundred yards of unrecognizable slime. When Canadian forces finally captured the ruined remnants of Passchendaele village in November, the front line had advanced a mere 5 miles, bought at the astronomical cost of over 500,000 casualties on both sides. It was a devastating equation where thousands of human lives were systematically traded for inches of mud.
More than a century later, the name Passchendaele remains permanently etched in the human consciousness as the ultimate haunting symbol of the futility and waste of the Great War. It stands as a dark monument to the dangers of administrative stubbornness, where military leadership refused to halt an offensive long after the weather and geography had rendered victory impossible. The legacy of the battle continues to spark fierce, passionate debates among modern historians and strategic analysts. Was Field Marshal Haig a callous, out-of-touch butcher who blindly sacrificed an entire generation for a meaningless ridge? Or was he a tragic realist, trapped in the inescapable logic of total industrial attrition, executing the necessary pressure required to break the back of the German army? Today, that debate is quietly mirrored in the silent landscapes of Flanders. The mud has long since dried, replaced once again by fertile green fields. But beneath the soil, the scars remain permanent. At the Tyne-Cot Cemetery, the largest Commonwealth military cemetery in the world, nearly 12,000 headstones stand in silent testament to the fury of 1917, ensuring that the heavy lessons of Passchendaele are never forgotten by history.
The Third Battle of Ypres remains to this day a chilling, sobering reminder of the absolute limits of human endurance and the catastrophic cost of industrialized warfare. It serves as an enduring warning that when the engines of war override human empathy, the earth itself can become a monument to our despair. As we look across our modern world, where geopolitical conflicts continue to push nations toward the brink of devastating attrition, the lessons of 1917 offer vital perspective. How do you assess the complex role of high command military leadership when managing such catastrophic, unresolvable theaters of war? Where does the line sit between necessary strategic determination and tragic, blind stubbornness? We want to hear your analytical insights and unique perspectives, so please share your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you found this comprehensive historical analysis valuable, please hit that like button, share this video to spread awareness, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another deep dive into the epic, world-shaping moments of our shared human past. Thank you for watching. Honor the fallen, and we will see you in the next video.